I can't take you with me to 40. Welcome back to another episode of I Can't Take You With Me to 40. People pleasing. Yeah, I can't take that with me to 40. I feel that when I was younger, maybe in my early 20s, there was still some residue of people pleasing from my childhood, which a Black woman in a single mother household growing up as a little Black girl, I definitely found myself wanting to do everything and anything to please my mother. And then when you go externally from the household and you're at school or you're in the neighborhood or you're at a store, there are all these conditions placed on Black children, little Black girls, of how they should be and what they should do and who they should listen to and be seen, not heard, follow my authority, give me what I want, don't make a fuss, don't complain. And there's layers to it, right? Because it's one thing that happens because you are a little girl, and we know how patriarchy works in the society, especially white patriarchy, but also patriarchy exists in Black communities and Black diaspora. It's there. And then we have the other aspect of that of like, well, you're Black and you need to do what I'm telling you, as well as being a little girl, whether it's coming from someone who's white or non-Black in those environments I mentioned, school, library, store, your community. And I feel that by the time I turned 18, brain's still developing, right? But I was still in between this residue of people pleasing, doing what I was supposed to do or thought I was supposed to do to make sure that everyone else around me was comfortable. Everyone else around me felt like they got what they wanted from me and that I did what they wanted. But what about me? What about how I felt? And I'm not gonna lie, it took me until my mid to late 20s to really fully get rid of that residue. And now, in these sporadic times as I'm getting older, where a people pleasing notion or thought might come in my mind, I'm readily able to be like, wait a minute, girl, why would you do that? Is that something you want to do? What is the benefit for you and this other person mutually? Or does this solely benefit this other person? And then also, girl, why would you want to lie to this person and be manipulative and do what they want from you, perform this thing the way that they're prescribing it to you, or the way that they've hinted at wanting it to come out, just so they're pleased? You're also participating in something that's not healthy by being manipulative, because you're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest with them. So going on this journey to 40, I cannot take people pleasing with me. I think that as I have emotionally matured, intellectually matured through the years of therapy that I've already had, the continued therapy that I do have, I recognize that when I've come across anyone who as an adult is people pleasing, I look for ways to either distance myself from that person or let that person know, if this is not what you want to do, speak up, say what you do or don't want. If you have a different opinion, say it. So much of people pleasing is being conditioned to believe that you don't have a voice, that you don't have a right to an opinion, that you don't have a right to disagree. And everyone wants to convince you, especially in my experience in this Black fat body of mine, that me in that Black fat body disagreeing, having a different opinion, not wanting to do something, saying no is aggressive and mean. Since when does saying no equal I'm aggressive and mean and I'm not worthy of being included in whatever environment or space or community where I'm saying no? Since when does having an opinion that's different from yours or a group of people a bad thing? And I have to think in the larger scale of like society when a lot of these like thoughts come to mind, because we are actually trying to condition not just Black women or Black identifying people or typically oppressed identity groups to not question anything, not have a different opinion, not voice a different opinion, not say no in every area of life. And it comes down from a larger scale of things. And I want people to think about that. I especially want you, a Black woman, if you're watching this, think about that. The next time you feel this need to people please rise up out of you, ask yourself why. What signals was just sent to me, either from a person or persons, that I needed to put on this performance which is manipulative, both from them and you back, that everything's good. I don't disagree. Whatever they want, however they want it, I don't care. I don't have an opinion. I don't feel a way. I'm excited to do it. I'm not, though. I found myself in this journey to 40 being like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And I'm going to let you know I don't want to. And I could see if I say to you, I don't want to do this. That's aggro as fuck. Yeah. But if I'm telling you, look, I thought about it. I don't want to do that. I know you want XYZ to happen that way, but I don't want to do that. If we're going to work on this or have this or experience this or be this together, what ways can we find that actually is mutually what we both want? Mutually fitting what we're both comfortable with, mutually fitting what we both need. That's an actual honest and mature conversation versus, oh yeah, whatever you want. I'm down for that. Yeah. Inside, you're really like screaming like, oh, I don't really want to do this, but I'm just going to do it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I mean, it starts as simple as things like, oh, I made this meal for a party and my guests didn't know I was making this type of meal. A few of them don't eat this type of food or the ingredients that were put in it, but in some type of like familial indoctrination or normalized people pleasing that has been exposed to somewhere else, they're just gonna eat it instead of saying, hey, I don't eat that. Can I have something else? I'm gonna say no. And I've actively been that way since I can remember. I think the reason I was able to not people please when it came to food and people's food that they made and, oh, eat this is all we got, or this is what we're making. I don't want that. I've been comfortable doing that since I was little because I'm neurodivergent. I think about people who talk to me or have shared their stories of, oh yeah, I wanted to wear this particular dress to a big function and my mom or my sister or my partner or my boyfriend was like, well, I don't like that color on you. I want you to wear this color instead. And I went along with it even though I don't like the color that they liked and I really liked the dress that I picked out, but I didn't want to cause a fuss. I didn't want them to be upset. I wanted to make them happy. I want to make me happy. And I think what I have really embraced since late 20s, coming to 40 on this journey is if I start with what makes me happy first, 9 times out of 10, it has a ripple effect of positive happiness, joy, content, healthiness, trending up versus down for everyone around me. It's like when the source of light that you're trying to siphon all the energy out of is actually harnessed in a healthy way where it can recharge and continue to build more light that you need, that it needs, but you're not sucking its blood like a fucking vampire. Everybody benefits. Like, we understand these constructs or how that can be true in environments like environmental science or in environments like at a business where it's like, we have this much run rate or we have this much cash in the bank. If we keep doing things in a healthy way, in a mindful way, in a strategical way, we can continue to grow our revenue. We can continue to grow our profit and still be able to pay everyone a livable wage, make everyone here comfortable, not just at the top. But if we are only giving the people at the top all the money and driving all of everybody else to the bone so that we can bogart all the money, that shit's gonna fucking collapse. So why don't we do that with ourselves? Why don't we tell women, black women, little black girls, you don't have to please me in order for me to love you, in order for me to care for you, in order for me to like you, in order for me to include you, in order for me to respect you. You get to say no. You get to say you don't agree. You get to say you don't want to do that. You get to say, heard, but I'm going to go this direction. And if I learn from my choice, I learn from it. It's okay. And quite honestly, the other bit of people pleasing that just has always been like, yeah, no. But that residue, like I said, is when you think about it, the person on the receiving end of your people pleasing is literally communicating to you that if you don't do this, I'm going to throw a tantrum, basically. I'm going to throw a fit. I'm going to be so fucking mad. I can't maintain or regulate my emotions. That's what that gives. So because you can't maintain or regulate your emotions, I have to shrink myself and tell you everything's okay. And whatever you want is whatever you want. And I'm going to make it happen. So you can't exist in discomfort, but I have to. Silently at that. Hell no. The fuck? Think about this in the other constructs of life, right? For those who date men, right? When you're dating a man and he has seemingly been this wonderful man. Oh, he's a good man, Savannah. From, I don't know, the first 3 months of dating, and now you're really locked in. And he's starting to show a different side of himself, and you keep accommodating him, but you really feel a voice inside of you is like, girl, what you doing? What? Nah, something's off with this. And why you keep doing this for him? And the doing for him is, well, I don't want you to wear that dress out tonight. I want you to wear this one. I don't want you to wear that lipstick. I want you to wear this lipstick. Or I don't want you to wear makeup at all anymore. Oh, I want you to cook my food this way. My mama cooked it this way. I want you to be here at this time because I just want to know where you are. People pleasing is enabling a controlling person who, again, doesn't know how to regulate their own emotions, probably not even in touch with their own emotions, or they avoid them. But it can get to a dangerous level. And it shows up in this example of like if you date men. Whereas when I've thought about a man who I may have been dating and he ever once was like telling me what I couldn't and shouldn't do with my own appearance or what I couldn't or shouldn't do with my own money, it was just like, the fuck? You're not my dad. We're supposed to be in a relationship and you can have an opinion. We all do. Everybody got an asshole, right? But telling me this is low, it's this prescriptive thing, and if I don't do it, the relationship's over. I don't love you or I don't care about you. That's manipulative as fuck. And playing into that, whether you're afraid or just want to be liked or just want to be loved and you don't want them to take something away from you that you think they will if you don't give this thing that they're demanding and commanding and prescribing you must do, that's manipulation too. Y'all are both manipulating each other. You shouldn't be with someone who wants you to people please. You don't need to be in relationships where one party is the only person who's getting what they want and is comfortable as snug as a bug, no matter how toxic the comfort to them feels. I just can't do that going to 40. I'm so focused on how do I want to show myself love? How do I want to show myself care? And therefore, once I am showing myself these things, it as a byproduct shows up in my relationships and actions with others, whether that's family, a loved one, a friend, a lover, a partner, a coworker, a neighbor. I also don't mean that you gotta overextend to be accommodating because that's still people pleasing too. Two things can be true. Like, oh, dang, my homegirl going through it and she just needs somebody to listen to her. However, I have been a lending ear to her and tried to give suggestions, but she shuts it down every time. And it doesn't seem like she wants to get out of this space that she's in mentally, emotionally, and maybe even physically. But I'm gonna just keep being here as this supportive friend and still call that shit out and say, look, love, I want you to be in a better, healthier space where you're happy, where you're feeling joy again. There's no reason that you have to shut off what you've experienced and invalidate it. Absolutely not. I just don't want you to live in this space forever. Can we talk about other ways that we can get you out of this space in addition to me being a lending ear? How do we get you there? What resources do you need? What ways within my control can I help? Nobody wants to do that. I don't understand. And for those of you who are out there doing that, shout out to you because you're few far in between. You are few far in between, baby. I know that going into 40, I don't want to be a people pleaser because it would be me being dishonest to myself. And after this long journey to 40, and I hope to be around for another 45, right? Plus, I don't want to be dishonorable to myself. I don't want to lie to myself. I don't want to pretend I have no thoughts, no dissenting opinion, no wants or needs of my own just to keep a person happy or keep a person around me or be cool in a group or be included in it. I don't want to do that because if I have to do those things that are actually hurting me and then I'm sticking it inside of me and it's coming out in other ways, that's not a way to live. And also, why would I want to be in relationships where I gotta lie? I gotta lie to you. I gotta manipulate you so you don't throw a tantrum, so you don't take something that I believe is just so valuable. But really, is it? If telling someone no, that you don't agree, that you don't want to do that you're gonna do what you want, thanks for your feedback, thanks for your input. If doing that means they're gonna take their love away, take their relationship away, take that money away, take whatever it is that you value, is that for you? Is there better elsewhere for you as well? Is the better already in you without that? This is what I'm thinking about. So I can't take with me to 40 people pleasing. And I'm going to make commitments to myself that when these notions start to come up sporadically again in this late stage of adulthood, essentially, or mid stage, really, I'm going to remind myself, like, I can disagree with this. I can say no to that. I can say what I actually want. I can say what I actually feel and think. It's all a balance. And I think this society right now is so far gone on what balance actually looks like, equity looks like, fairness looks like, reasonable disagreements, reasonable feelings, reasonability, period. It's so far gone from the minds of society today that it's just like, oh, you're against me. I said no. I said I don't agree. I said I don't want that. I said I can't do that. That does not make me against you. You're just hearing something that you didn't want to hear, and you are not capable of managing how you feel about it. That's it. Now, if I'm slapping you upside your head, telling you no, that's different. If I'm cussing you out to express myself, which is unreasonable for whatever the situation is, because a good cuss out is absolutely reasonable for certain situations. I don't go through all that to get my point across. And you, the recipient of people pleasing, or the I expect people pleasing recipient, don't have to throw a fucking tantrum because you didn't get your way. There's a balance to it. And as I'm on this journey to 40, I am going to be consistent with the balance that I'm seeking and maintaining for myself. Because this is the only way I'm going to get to 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 and hopefully 90 and maybe 100. That's my long-term girl. I don't see myself going to be 6 feet under and then putting on my tombstone, people were so pleased with her. She pleased the fuck out of people. She did everything she could to be pleasing to others. The fuck? Please. No, thank you. This has been another episode of I Can't Take You With Me to 40.